Stop the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Well, welcome back again to the Prepared Mind channel, folks. I hope your weekend was good. And yes, a big reminder, tonight, The Zoo, Monday Night Live, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Folks, SHTF is here in the US of A. That's right. It's here in the United States of America for us right now. It was incredible. Over the weekend, President Biden was over there talking to the 82nd Airborne, right? Talking big, once again, huffing and puffing, trying to scare Putin and Russia that the US military was going to come on in. If they had designs, folks, to send in the US military, it would have happened. If they had designs to do an airstrike on Russia, it would have happened. If they had designs on doing cyber attacks on Russia, it would have been happening and Russia would be crippled. If there was any attempt to move harder on Russia, it would have happened in the heat of the shock, right? While the American people were scared and concerned about the poor Ukrainians. And yeah, folks, there are poor Ukrainians being abused. There's poor Russians being abused. There's poor Afghans being abused. There's poor women in Middle Eastern countries continuing to be subjugated, right? There are poor children starving in South America, Africa, around the world. There's lots of poor people. It's just, who does the media choose to focus on? And do they give us a bad enough boogeyman, a bad guy to hate? All while they continue to screw us over in our own country. They want us looking out there. Children, bad, evil leaders, war, famine, pestilence, scared. It's bullshit, folks. It's always there. What are they doing to us here in the US of A? Right? Biden was over there rallying it up, getting some good PR photos of the troops, the US Army, just loving on him and gathering around for presidential selfies, trying to make the morale of the military look like it's high. Well, guess what? It's not. And I know, folks, I know that the real military, the real 82nd, the real 101st, the real recon battalions of the Marines, they would love to protect freedom and liberty and, win any battle they're put in. Do you think they really want to go and face Spetsnaz, Russians? No, no one does. Why would you want to? But when you're in the military, it's your job, and you, right, look at it very seriously. So if it's that serious of a situation, why are the troops all chummy with the president, all happy in games instead of being somber and battle prepared and hardened? There's a big difference, folks, between going to war and going into a public relations broadcast. Now, while Biden was also over there, right, he said that the gas crisis is an opportunity to, quote, double down on our clean energy goals. Opportunity, right? Never let a good crisis go to waste. Well, this crisis with Russia has created a massive, massive problem in the cost of energy, the availability of energy. Right? The costs are going up. The availability is going down because of what they have done, folks. So how convenient, how brilliant of Joe to come out and say, yeah, this is an opportunity to double down on our clean energy goals. Okay, you want clean energy? What have you done to actually make it happen, Joe? Have they announced more windmills and more solar panels? Have they announced they're going to build nuclear power plants, which is the agreed upon base load, low to zero carbon footprint energy? What have they really done? Just like everything else in the Biden administration, it's just talk, right? There's nothing there. There's no meat and potatoes for us, folks. But this is really convenient of Joe, right? An invasion, sanctions, energy crisis. And the Bidens benefit right? They're benefiting from this. Thanks, Hunter. Thanks, Joe, right? And the emergencies that have occurred, the warmongers going nuts, the crisis, that's an opportunity for who and how does this help? Well, it helps because we have higher energy prices and we need to start looking at our clean energy goals. So the war on carbon, folks, the war on dirty energy looks like one that we're going to get to continue to fight here in the USA, because by all outward appearances, it looks like Putin and Russia have been basically mopping up. They've surrounded their targets in Russia, or I'm sorry, Ukraine, the Russians have, and they're slowly capturing what they need and taking what they want. Remember last week, I talked about all those suitcases full of hard cash, euros and US dollars in suitcases that the oligarchs and bureaucrats, government officials were trying to smuggle out of Ukraine. That's right, folks. They were cutting and running and trying to take with them what money they could that they stole. Unbelievable. So we still have an opportunity here, folks. You bet. Right. It helps those who want to push even more carbon climate crap and give us higher energy prices to pay for it all. How convenient for the Bidens, the big corporations, and the World Economic Forum, good old Klaus. Yeah, they're not going to take Ukraine at this time. They're not going to move NATO in there. They're not going to threaten Russia. They're not going to get Russia to capitulate, to fail, to fall down and worship these guys. Russia isn't going to do that, right? But win or lose in Ukraine, the big boys will win anyways on the backside. It's all about money, folks. And it's all about power. And it's all about us, the people, paying. And we pay every single time. We pay for a war, whether we win or lose. Do we get anything out of it? Well, we're supposed to be fighting for noble causes like democracy and freedom. Folks, Ukraine wasn't about democracy. It never was. Nor was it about freedom. It never was. It was about Zelensky being put in a position of power so that his, shall we say, handlers, his supporters, his money backing, could put themselves in positions of power to control and own the resources of Ukraine. Putting Zelensky in power was about creating connections between global corporations and Ukrainian bureaucratic interests, their natural resources, their agricultural resources. And then, of course, using it to create an alliance, a demand to put NATO in there. If Putin was weak, they would have succeeded. They would have moved NATO into Ukraine. And that would create billions and billions of dollars, US and European Union dollars, going into Ukraine to build bases, to put troops there, to spend all kinds of money, to buy all kinds of military hardware and jets. Oh, you bet. And it would increase tensions. You bet. And the idea would be to continue to push Putin around and punish Russia. Folks, Russia was already being punished prior to this. Yeah, Putin was part of, the global alliance power, going to the G7s and G8s and G10s or 11s or whatever these G meetings were, right? It depends on how many countries are going to attend. Then they give it a number. It's the G21. So instead of taking control of Putin, they now get to use Putin as the evil, right? The bad guy in the background. You and I still have SHTF here. We're going to pay for what has been done. We're going to pay for the loss. We're going to pay for the lack of victory. We're going to pay for it all. It's all going to come out of our pockets. Higher energy costs. The globalists who want climate change, folks, like, do you think the Davos boys really, the World Economic Forum, Davos types, do you think they really gave a shit when Gretchen, the little Grinch from Sweden, showed up, a little 15-year-old frowny girl showed up and said, "How dare you?" and complained about her life being ruined, the lives of children being ruined, and we need to stop climate change and yada yada. Do you think they really wanted to hear from her or cared? No. They see this as a financial opportunity. It's all about power, and it's all about the money. Money, money, money. Power and money every single time. Win or lose, how do the rich get more? And in the United States, can they continue to get more, or do they need to destroy our Constitution, our culture, our traditions, and our laws? Not to mention our military and our education system, our very lives. Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do, folks. So happy, 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 right? Let's kick this Monday off and see where it takes us. But we need to be prepared, folks, and understand things are going to get a lot more expensive. There will be conflict this year as we get closer to the elections. It is all coming. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Go shop at thepreparedmind.club to get anything that you don't have yet. At least look at the prices there and see what's available, because even availability of items is slowly drying up as prices precipitate upwards, right? Go up. They don't fall, precipitate down. They go up. All right. Hey, chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed to all. Semper Fi, and I'll see you at the zoo tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Time.